Hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here in your classroom today. Well, sort of here. And sharing with you my profession. So, my name is Sam Silver. And no, I'm not a cowboy or a pirate. I'm a financial services professional. Don't fall asleep on me yet, because in this presentation, I've got explosions, a little magic, and a rare and precious gem. So if you pay close attention, I will share these things with you. Now, as a financial services professional, you may think it's a lot of math and numbers, but I don't actually crunch numbers all day. I wear many hats. I'm a teacher. I'm part networker. Networker is like matchmaking, being a matchmaker for business relationships. And I'm a little bit of a psychologist as well. So, with that, let me ask you a question. Do you like asking questions? Do you enjoy meeting new people? And do you like learning? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you may be interested in this career path. So, let me tell you a little bit about me, and so you have an idea of where I came from. I grew up just down the road in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I went to the University of Hampshire and studied mechanical engineering. At the time, I thought I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. Right after college, I joined the Army, and I was in the Corps of Engineers stationed up in Fairbanks, Alaska. And I got to blow stuff up for a living. And it was a lot of fun. And you could say that was a blast. But explosions aren't very good for your hearing. And I also wanted to move closer to home. And my real passion was actually in finance. I love learning about the stock market and learning about money. So I decided to totally change my life. I packed up my belongings, packed up my dog, and we drove from Fairbanks, Alaska to Portland, Maine. And here is where I started my financial practice, whom I started with New York Life. So today, I'm going to share with you what I do by demonstrating it with you. This is where the teaching part comes in. So I teach people about financial concepts. And today I want to cover with you, saving. Why we save, how we save, what options are out there with savings. So, raise your hand. All right? I want you guys to raise your hand if you love to spend money. Oh yeah. Right here. This guy loves to spend money. So, why do we save? It's very easy to spend, as we get our money to spend it. So why would we want to not do that and we want to save? Well, let me ask you this. Do you ever plan on purchasing a home? You need a pretty large down payment for that. And a lot of times that down payment is larger than, what you might make in a couple months. Another question. Do you want to have a big truck one day, or maybe a fast car, or have a boat? Well, in any of these cases, you might not be able to afford that right at the moment. So, how are you going to afford it? How will you afford it? Let me ask that. I'll give you a hint. It starts with an S and rhymes with brave. Of course, it's save. So, we'll talk about what happens when you save. And let me ask another question, because I love asking questions, as you can see. Who here likes to receive gifts? Of course. And who here enjoys giving gifts as well? I love to give gifts too. So, when you save, you're actually giving your future self a gift. You're giving the gift of money. And this gift gets bigger and bigger the more you save. Now, let's think of, I want to share with you another reason why we save, and it's for retirement. So you probably aren't thinking about retirement right now. That's a very, very, or at least it seems like a very, very long way off. But let me ask you a question. Do you want to work forever? I love what I do. But someday I would like to be able to not work anymore and continue my current lifestyle. So how am I going to do that? Not work, not earn money, yet continue my lifestyle. Well, that money I will get from my savings. So now that we have an idea on what saving is and why we would want to save, let's talk about some of the different places that you can put money. All right. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard the expression, stuffing the cash under your mattress, or heard of people burying their cash in their yard. That technically is saving. And the last time I buried all my cash in my yard, my dog dug it up. How do I know that my dog dug it up? Because all of a sudden there were a lot of squeaky toys around the house that I don't remember buying. So burying your money in the yards, putting it under a mattress might not be the best places to save. Let me demonstrate this real quick. So there are two types of places you can save. One that generates a return, and one that does not. Now, most accounts out there, you might hear of retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, bank accounts, all these different accounts. Well, these are all places that generate a return. So what's a return? Well, I have two objects here. One is a rare and precious gem. This gem was recently appraised for $1 million. And if you choose, you can have this gem today. Now, I have a penny. This is a magic penny, though. And I will give you this penny in 1 month. But here's the deal. This magic penny will double itself every single day for the next 30 days. So tomorrow, you'll have 2 pennies. And on day 3, you'll have 4 pennies. And on day 4, guess what? You'll have 8 pennies. Pretty awesome, right? So what would you rather have? The magic penny in 1 month, or this $1 million gemstone? If you guessed, or if you want the $1 million gemstone, then congratulations, you have $1 million right now. But if you said, I'd rather have the magic penny that doubles in value every day, and I'll wait 30 days until I get my whatever this doubles into, then congratulations, you have chosen $5 million. That is the power of saving, and saving in an account where your money grows. So let's talk about the different places where you can save, where your money grows. Well, one is the bank. Now, before we get into that, actually, return. When you receive money for it just sitting somewhere, like a bank, the banks pay interest. The money grows. That's called a return. Now, would you rather have a very fast return, money growing super fast, that's called a high rate of return? Or would you rather have a low rate of return where the money grows very slowly? Let me ask another question. Are you okay with losing all of your money? If you answered no, then maybe a high rate of return is not for you, because that comes with risk. You could risk losing all your money. If you answered, well, I'm okay with losing some money, then you might want a combination of the two. This is part of what I do, is I help people decide where they want to save. Okay, back to the bank. So, a bank is a very safe place to put your money. It has, although, here's the kicker, it has a low rate of return. You have different retirement accounts, which is sort of like having a group of accounts that will give you some that are accounts with high rates of return, high risk, others with low rates of return and low risk. And then you have what we call a brokerage account. That's where you get to pick and choose where you want to put your money, whether it's in the stock market, if it's in these special financial instruments we call bonds, which maybe later we can learn about bonds. But brokerage accounts let you choose where you want to put your money. And what I do as the financial professional is I help people choose where they want to put their funds. I advise them after asking them many questions, as I've asked you guys many questions today, and then I make recommendations. And that's where a little bit of number crunching comes in. So a typical day for me is in the morning I have a staff meeting, then I schedule meetings with really people that I've never met. Some people I have met. And I teach them essentially what I've taught you guys here today. I teach them how to save, where they can save, and the different types of accounts that are out there. And one of the fun things about this is I get to meet so many different people and different personalities. I then go back, I review my recommendations, make sure that they're proper for them, or what we in the industry call suitable, and then I repeat the process. So every day is a little bit different. Now, many years ago, I was sitting in the same seats you were now. Sometimes it feels like a minute ago, and sometimes it feels like a whole different lifetime. But if I could give myself a word of advice, and that would be to be flexible, because none of us know what the future holds. But I promise you, the ride is absolutely amazing. And you might get to blow some stuff up too. Whether your dream is to be an engineer, a doctor, to start a social movement maybe. If you stay persistent and committed and driven by your desires to do or be these things, your dream may very well come true one day. But it may look different than how you imagine it today. So be flexible, but also be ready for it. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation today, and I hope that this has given you the tools you need to maybe consider going into the financial services industry. So I wish you the best. Oh, and I wanted to also mention, this is not a $1 million rare and precious gemstone. It's actually a quite common calcite, but a lovely stone nonetheless. So I wish you my best, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.